Hello and welcome to my channel. So in this series of videos, we are going to learn data structures from scratch. Data structures is the building block of computer science, and every computer science professional or student need to understand these concepts thoroughly. What we are going to cover in this video series will be focusing upon basic concepts of data structures, and we'll try to simplify these concepts. We'll see the operations performed on data structures along with the algorithms in systematic way. Then we'll see how to implement various operations for each of the data structures, and we'll be using C programming language to implement data structures, and also we are going to solve the problems based on data structures. So this video series will help you to gain the thorough knowledge of data structure. So let's get started. In this first video on data structures, we are going to see what is data structure. So before actually going for data structure, let us understand two important notions: data and information. So what is data and what is information? In fact, these two terms are being used interchangeably, but there is significant difference in these two terms. So let us see what is data first. So data are raw, unorganized, unrefined facts that need to be processed. So typically, data includes individual numbers, symbols, characters, words, or even codes. So if we are having individual number, say mobile number, then that would be a data. Okay. Now what about information? If the data gets processed, organized, structured in some context so as to make it useful, we say that it is information. So in brief, information is meaningful data. For example, if we are having name of the person, so individual name of the person is one data item. If we are having phone number, then that phone number individually is another data item. But if we relate these two quantities or these two data items in a context such as a person along with a phone number, then we are providing certain meaning to that data, and this is what the information is. Right? So the person is now related with a phone number, and now these two data items collectively will provide us the information that this phone number belongs to this person. So in short, if we visualize pictorially what is data and what is information, then data is raw, unorganized, unrefined facts, right? Whenever this raw data, it is simply the collection of values, you may say. If this raw data is processed, then whatever we get is information. That is actually the meaningful data. Now, let's see one more important term: data type. So what is data type? Typically, it consists of two parts. The first is set of values, and second is operations that can be performed on values. Say for example, if we talk about the data type that everyone knows, suppose we are talking about C programming language and we are having data type as integer. We represent it as integer. So whenever we say that we are having one data item, right, say number, having data type integer, then what actually we are trying to convey? we are trying to convey that this number will have certain value that belongs to some set of values, right? Also, we are conveying that this number is having the data type integer, and this indicates that there are certain operations those we can perform on the values. So, if the data type of a particular variable is integer, this means that we can perform the operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication or division on these integer numbers, right? So, data type consists of two parts, set of values, those can be assigned to a particular item with respect to that data type, and the operations those we can perform with respect to the data item that belongs to that data type. Now, let us see what we mean by data structure. So, let us define data structure. Data structure is the way to store and organize data in order to facilitate access and modification in efficient way. What does this mean? While writing any computer program, we need to store various quantities or data in memory. To store that data, we need to use some efficient way. It is not only the case that we need to store the data, but also we need to manipulate that data. Manipulate meaning we need to read that data, we need to access that data, right? We need to write the data, we need to search the data, or we need to change that data, right? So, there are so many different operations those we need to perform on the data. So, whatever data that we are storing, we need to organize that data in such a way that all these operations are efficient to work with, right? And the way how we store and organize the data for efficient manipulation is nothing but data structure. In more formal way, we may define data structure like this: the logical or mathematical model of a particular organization of data is called data structure. Now, let's classify data structures. So, data structures are being classified as primitive data structures and non-primitive data structures. Primitive data structures are typically the data types those are available in various programming languages. Say for example, integer, real, character, boolean, these are the data types those are available in various languages. So, these form the primitive data structures. Under non-primitive category of data structures, we are having linear data structures and non-linear data structures. So, linear data structures typically are the data structures those form, or the elements in that data structure form some kind of a sequence or a linear relationship between one another. So, further, linear data structures are categorized as arrays, linked lists, stacks and queues, whereas non-linear data structures are categorized as tree and graph. In this series of data structures, we are going to look at all these linear as well as non-linear data structures. These are the basic linear and non-linear data structures, those we are going to focus upon. So, with this brief introduction to data structures, we are going to conclude this video. Thank you and happy learning. Please subscribe this channel, like, comment and share among your friends. Thank you.